Okay, guys. I think we are live with part 2 of the podcast. Now, so just so everybody knows, I think we are having some technical difficulties that I cannot do anything about because I think my internet right now is acting wonky. Me and Kate are freezing on our comrades' end here, where they are seeing us freeze. But you can't see us freeze just because of the magic of the way that the stream works. So, this is going to be a little awkward. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it work or not. We're going to try and fight through it. You may be getting some buffering and stuff. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to try. The show must go on. Unless it doesn't anymore, then I'll end it. But so right now things appear to be okay on the stream end. Things seem fine, so we're gonna keep going. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Okay. Did everybody get a chance to talk about the medium gameplay? I think so.
Caitlin.
I think I said a little bit. About as much as I normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did. I think she chimed in a little bit there. Pong and Stubbs and Tom and so yeah. Going back to me, I'll just talk a little bit about again the gameplay. I think it showed some awesome stuff there, like with showing how the worlds kind of how the mechanics work of having those two worlds side by side, how you can go to different places in one world but you can't in the other, how you can interact with the other some other characters in the one world but you can't in the other, and it seems like there's gonna be some puzzles probably involving that and everything with it. The game's got a creepy vibe. I'm super excited to play the medium, whereas before it was just kind of like, hey, I don't really know what to expect. This looks like the Bloober team has taken it up a notch to another level, and this game we may remember for a long time. I think it's good for Xbox that it is a exclusive game for at least I think a year. It's going to be one that we all get to play. I think isn't it on Game Pass as well? I'm not sure about that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Day one.
Yeah, and it's going to be awesome, guys. And also for you in the chat, for the people that have caught back up with the stream, thank you so much for fighting through this with us and getting back on here. I appreciate it. We had, I think, like 26 before. We're already back up to 11. So that's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on. Are we freezing for you guys on the Discord anymore?
It just happened.
Did it?
Yes, just a little bit.
A little bit.
Anyway. Okay. Speaking of exclusive games for Xbox and things that we have to look forward to, there was also a little bit of news that came out regarding In Exile's new IP that they are going to be working on. Okay. Now they had a job listing for somebody with first-person shooter experience that knows what makes first-person shooters fun, to bring into work on their next action RPG. So now it appears that maybe this next In Exile big project that they're going to have working on is actually a RPG first-person shooter. Which is definitely a departure for stuff that In Exile has worked on. They've also been bolstering that studio. They moved into a new office that looks beautiful. So I actually expect from that studio. I think they're working on maybe 2 franchises as well. There's lots of cool information there to look up regarding them. So In Exile, first-person shooter action RPG. Did things just get bigger and more exciting? Styles offerings besides what they have been known for working on in the past. So let's go to Tom. Tom?
So I'm excited for this, but
I feel like an RPG at this point is more in line of what they did with like Wasteland and make that into an RPG. And I feel like we already have like Outer Worlds. We already have Bethesda probably already going to shoot out the next Fallout games. I really hope that this differentiates a lot from that because we already have those games. They can definitely do some fun stuff with it. I really hope maybe it's a looter shooter for like Xbox's brand itself would be nice to have, but I really just hope it's a departure from Outer Worlds and Fallout. Don't be too similar to that. We already have that. We already have those experiences. And Exile does do a good job with Wasteland. Their tactical combat in there was really good, so they definitely can have a lot to bring to the table. I'm just not sure what they can differentiate itself with to make it stand out to what we already have.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Like, is it going to be too similar to the Xbox's other stuff that we're already kind of used to by now, and other games that we're used to? And maybe hopefully they're not being forced to do that, right? Instead of because also the Initiatives game, it seems like it's going to be first person as well, right? So I see 3-bit. I'm hoping he's not shaking his head because I'm frozen on his screen. What do you think, 3-bit? What do you think about the possibility of it being a first-person shooter ARPG in Exile?
Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned the Initiative, it just annoyed me that the fact that Perfect Dark is first person, but I get it.
Yeah.
You know, like it annoyed me because we have like the Xbox catalog. It is very diverse, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's a lot within the lineup of the Xbox catalog. Like they have just a bunch of different games you can go through, especially with Game Pass, where you could just experiment, right? Where normally you wouldn't even have tried a game before. But yeah, with that being said, like I'm in a boat with like Tom, where when I heard it was that first person, I was just like, oh, come on. Like I want a studio to try a third person, just because we already have a mountain right now, especially with the purchase of Bethesda of first person games. Amazing AAA first person games that are on the horizon for Xbox. If it's true, then like cool. I think it's still going to be like great. They are amazing developers. Not to say they are not talented in any way. In fact, I know some of the people working over there, but it's just it's just the fact there's already so much first person when you really think about it, with like Wolfenstein, right? With the Dishonored series now on Xbox, with Avowed probably going to be first person. It just goes on and on. Now Perfect Dark is going to be first person. Then we have the Halo series. So I think it's still going to be a great game. That's not discrediting it, but yeah, I want some third person, some mix it up a little bit, some third person action adventure games in there, which like, and I just want to say this too. Just because a game is third person action adventure does not make it game of the year, because I've had people message me that like, oh, it needs to be exactly like Sony. It needs to be third person story based action adventure. That's not what I'm saying at all. A first person game could be game of the year as much as a third person game. It's not that. It's just
you just want more variance with the biggest titles, right?
Exactly. So either way, I'm gonna play it. Doesn't matter. I'm looking forward to it. That's just my little rant, my 3-bit rant of today.
What about maybe like, and here's another thought: just because they do have that job listing doesn't mean the whole game is first person. They could have a segment where like you take over like a mech or something, and hey, that mech scene, you get to control it in first person, or like things like that. Where they want to have a varied gameplay throughout the game. That's happened in a lot of games before.
Maybe like Skyrim, where you could play first or third. That would be awesome. I'm down for that. I kind of wish if Perfect Dark is that way. I kind of wish they would do something like that, maybe like a first and third for people who prefer both.
Yeah,
We'll see.
that could be an option as well. I think In Exile's known more for top down, right? With Wasteland 3, Wasteland 2 and those games, but they also did have like a Bard's Tale, and they kind of dabbled in like that action RPG stuff before. They're known for having a sense of humor, so my guess would be it would be some kind of like Fallout-y type game, but with a sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. I don't know. They can't make Xbox can't make too many of the same type of game either, though, right? So, what are your thoughts, Stubbs? Man, do you think that they're making a first person shooter RPG? Because that's what it seems like based on the job.
It does seem that way, but as always with game development, I know Freebit mentioned that everyone's saying Perfect Dark is first person based, but with game development, it's always subject to change. By the time Perfect Dark comes out, it could be completely different. Because I'm one of these people. Perfect Dark doesn't look like it's anywhere near ready. It could be years away for all we know. Now with this new Exile game, I haven't got a lot of knowledge with the studio, but we could do with some more third person, because I know people can hate that. Gears is third person. We've got a State of Decay third person as well. Yeah. I think
it is. Yeah,
Xbox don't seem to have a lot of third person.
Crackdown is third person also, and Crackdown didn't really do well for them, even though they put a lot of years into it. I think that maybe they didn't go with the right teams, but
no. What happened with Crackdown was it's because they built up all this hype for the multiplayer killed them really. Destructive environments, but what people don't take into account, the company making the destructive environments was acquired by Epic Games, so the technology was taken off them and they had to rebuild the game in like 18 months.
Yeah,
but people don't discount that. Xbox should have acquired them in hindsight, you know what I mean? But yeah, it'll be interesting if it's third person or first person or third person, but we just have to wait and see. You never know with these companies. They, like you said, they could have an element where it is first person for the start, and then they change, or you can choose because you want gamers like options. So I don't really know, but either way, I'm sure it would be good. We've got to have faith in these Xbox studios to try and give them a chance. You know what I mean? Because some of these games they're making now could be big hits. They won't all be, but some of them might be your next favorite franchise.
Yeah. And Exile too, like I say, having faith. I mean, maybe they're not a household name to a lot of people, but these guys are industry veterans that have been around for longer than Xbox has been around. I mean, In Exile has a history going back a long time, back to the origin of the original Fallout, like on PC and stuff. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. And like for one of the acquisitions, I think they kind of fall under the radar a little bit whenever all the hype with Bethesda and ZeniMax and Obsidian, and all these other studios and Exiles, because they don't have that that IP that they had made that is a household name to a lot of people. People kind of forget about them, and they have a lot of talent and have created some of the stuff that you guys are playing that you may not know that they created. Just different name a long time ago. Go back and look at, was it Interplay? I think is where them and some of the other studios stem from. So, and the other thing is Crackdown. We mentioned just because of the third person thing, underrated. I think that game got kind of crapped on, but it's actually fun to play. So. But Pong, what are your thoughts on In Exile? Do you think they're making the first person shooter RPG? Because that's what the job listing says.
Oh, hey man, you cut out again. Sorry about that. Just catching up. So with In Exile, the big thing with In Exile is First person, third person, I really don't care. The thing I focus on with In Exile is the fact that these guys, I don't know how many people here have played their stuff, but if you take Wasteland 3 and you take the Bard's Tale and you take another game like, did anybody here play Torment, Tides of Numenera? Anybody?
I missed it, but like one of my favorite games ever was Neverwinter Nights, and it's in a way it's I've heard that that's very similar.
Take that, but add about, I don't know, 8 encyclopedia volumes of actual lore.
Right.
It's actually pretty insane if you get into it. Like, it is a game that if anybody loves lore, loves story, the game itself is awesome. However, it is a lot of reading and decision making, and the decisions in that game actually do affect a ton of the game story. So after playing a lot of their games between Wasteland 3, The Bard's Tale, and Torment, I got to say I put these guys up there with actually Obsidian as far as some of the best storytellers out there, right? And so I know for a fact that no matter what, at the end of the day, I'm going to get a game that is deep, that is detailed, and that's exactly what I like in my RPGs. And on top of that, you've got the fact that I'm going to go back to the original rumors of this game. I think it was back in fall, maybe September, October, whatever it was, that this is going to be a steampunk-based setting, right? Yeah. So we don't have a lot of steampunk games, right? That is one genre that has been underrepresented in games. It is a fantastic and creative realm that a lot of developers just haven't explored yet. And steampunk to me is right up there with fantasy and sci-fi. It's just not as well known, but if it's done right, which again I believe because In Exile is so good at creating these worlds, I think that it has a chance to be the next big RPG that shows up, and then all of a sudden people kind of forget that In Exile is working on it because, like you guys said, we've got so many coming in the pipeline, and all of a sudden this thing shows up and blows people's minds. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I think, again, with Steam, if it is steampunk, and I'm basing this on those initial rumors, and I'm going to say it's probably pretty true because they're going to know, like Tom and 3-Bit talked about a little bit, if they do a Wasteland 3 RPG, there's too much crossover between that and your Fallouts, right? There's just too much. It's just going to be another Fallout. I mean, that's what everybody's going to say about it, no matter how good it is, right? So I think they actually are going to try to break away and do this steampunk thing. And I look at games like The Order, 1886, which didn't do well because a lot of people didn't like the it was a good game. Yeah, it was a great game for me. A lot of people, it got bad reviews because the combat got a little wonky in some fights.
I think it was shorter than people expected as well.
Yes, that as well too. But if they the Demon's Forge, that was a co-op game that was on PC and 360. Didn't do well at all because nobody liked the solo play. But if you go back and look, and if you guys ever had a chance to play with somebody co-op in that game, everybody loved the co-op. So what happens if they do a steampunk RPG, AAA, action RPG? They allow you to choose first person or third person because Hunted the Demon's Forge was actually third person. So they have experience in creating an action style game in third person. Maybe they're bringing other people in, and that's why these hirings are happening to make the first person version. So you can have that option. But once if they bring that in and allow not only have a great single player RPG, but at the same time allow a buddy and join your adventures. I mean, it's a possibility. I think we're looking at the next big one. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well said, man. Looking forward to that. I can see that, like, it is like the kilobits per second on this thing are jumping around all over the place right now. So just so you guys know, I don't know what's going on your end, guys, in the watching, but I know that there's probably some buffering or weird stuff going on. So again, I apologize. I don't know what's happening with it right now. So, but we're gonna keep trying. It went smooth for a while until just recently it started jumping around. But I do this every week, where we surprise our guest and our panel with a tough topic, one that they're gonna. And now we had this alternate universe earlier where we talked about Xbox potentially buying Nintendo back in the year 2000. Now, what we said would have happened? Okay, now you guys have to make a choice. You guys have to make a tough decision here. If, let's say, that had happened, one of these franchises would no longer exist.
Oh no.
So,
I know.
here's the franchises. This franchise would no longer exist. Microsoft would have screwed it over, and nope, not going to happen. So, these franchises are Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, or Metroid. And this alternate universe where Nintendo was acquired by Xbox, one of these franchises was killed off. Which one did you want to go? Which one do you say doesn't belong on the Xbox or deserve to exist anymore had that acquisition happen? And as I always do, I have to start with 3-bit to force him to make a bad decision immediately.
Like, oh, I go second. You know, we have our guest here. Dang it. Childhood trauma there. For Star Fox. What? I'm killing Star Fox. He's boring. I'm killing him. Plus, when was the last good Star Fox game? Okay.
It's been a while. That's a fair point, but you can also say that with Metroid as well. Like, when's the last? The last Metroid we got was that like 3DS game. What was it? The Try.
But I'm erasing it from existence, right?
You're erasing it like, from existence. Yes. No. Like.
Yeah. So
no new games in the franchise after the year 2000.
Yeah. So I have hope for Metroid. You know, I think they can come back and do some cool things with Metroid. But Star Fox. All right, goodbye. So,
Tom,
that is all.
Which one do you think deserves to not have existed after the year 2000?
Stubbs or Pong?
Tom.
I'm sorry. I think you lagged out a little bit there.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
I would say Metroid.
Metroid.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, all right. So I love Metroid. It's a fun game. There's a lot of aliens. It's fun in that regard. But in terms of like an alien game, I already have Halo now, you know? So that has a more solid place in my heart. And if I have to choose one, I'd rather get rid of Metroid and still keep Star Fox, still keep Zelda and Mario. I don't feel bad about leaving Metroid alone at all. I mean, I'm going to get those kind of experiences playing Halo, Doom, Wolfenstein. It's going to be good, solid for first-person shooters. And just like, I don't need Metroid. It's never been my cup of tea anyways. And she's a wannabe Sonic to me, turning into a ball and just jumping all over the place. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Metroid's gone.
You guys are being savage, just coming out with your answers real quick off the bat. Just like, hey, Star Fox, gotta go. Hey, Metroid's gotta go. Pong Soul, what is it, man?
Who?
All right, Stubb.
Pong. I probably froze. So I'm gonna keep saying it.
Froze. You froze.
All right, Pong. Man, this is a shit show. Like this is
like guess who's gonna go next. All right, let's see here.
Game in of itself, guys.
For me, Zelda. Zelda's gone. So
okay,
back to that part. I haven't played anything really after Super Nintendo. But I have to say Zelda, and this is why, because I can get my RPG style experiences through all these other different games, hundreds of different games, that interests me more than Zelda and the story of her and Link. I don't care. I really just don't. And they've never connected with me. So for me personally, it's Zelda. That's it.
But you chose the
It's
thingy for me.
reconnection successful. It says that's back up.
Okay, let me refresh. Yep,
Now
Are we back?
Yeah, it's back.
Okay.
Now. How long will it be back for? That's the question. Because I'm watching the kilobits per second go up and down right now.
I think we back.
Yeah, we back.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see how long this lasts. So we got a vote for 2 votes. Wait, 1 vote for Star Fox, 1 vote for Metroid, and 1 vote for Zelda. I did not expect this to happen. But these guys want to see every franchise killed off, I guess. All
right, Stubbs, you got to pick Mario next.
So Stubbs, what is it, man?
The problem is,
It's dead.
Oh, we did. Dang.
Now it's back. No, hold on, it's back.
Mario.
It's back, guys. I'm telling you, it's dipping to 0, and it's going all the way back. It's like I'm in a rotation right now. So we'll be. You should see it pop back up any second.
I really don't know what's wrong with YouTube. In the past few weeks, it's been for live stream. It's been mental.
Yeah,
YouTube is some PS fanboys are running YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Can I say first of all, Mav, you just cost me a friendship with Assassin Lupa by asking this question.
Oh yeah.
So you owe me for this because I just lost a friend.
I'll be on your team on Halo.
Thank you, 3-Bit.
All right, real quick before we lose the stream, babe, who do you pick? Star Fox, Zelda?
I've only played Mario, so I don't know.
You never played Star Fox or Zelda? And she's frozen on my screen now. Guys, this is like, hey, you know what? I'm just having fun with this at this point. Like, holy shit! Like, hey. This is fun on YouTube and do a podcast, and you don't know what the hell is going on.
Stubbs brought that
That's
European
wrong.
internet over here.
Like, geez,
what's going on?
Like, my wife's face is fucking frozen down there, looking sideways, trying to answer a simple question. It's okay. Hey, I think I'm about to go crazy. It's okay though. Look at 3-Bit's over there laughing his ass off right now because he knows I'm losing my shit. I think Stubbs, it's like 4:00 in the fucking morning right now for Stubbs, and he's like, I woke up for this shit, you know? Hey, we're just having fun with it. Who knows? I don't even know if I'm live right now.
This is great. And Assassin Lupa is now hunting me down.
Yeah, 3-Bit and 3-Bit and Pong have now no longer agreed to be panel members on this podcast. They just both sent me DMs saying I'm out of this ridiculousness. So I don't even know if you guys can hear me, but hey, it is what it is. Let's just roll through it, and I'm going to pretend that you can. It's fun. Okay, my wife didn't have an opinion on this. So Stubbs, did you say anything?
Star Fox.
You did. Okay, so I have to pick one. So I'm going to say, I don't know, Star Fox. You know, it's been too long. It's been too long since we've had a good Star Fox game, and I really want a Metroid game. Zelda, like, I really like Zelda, so you can't get rid of that. And Mario, like, what would Mario be? What would Nintendo be without Mario? They wouldn't even, like, exist because they wouldn't know how to make a game without Mario in it. So, all right, moving on. Holy shit. I think I'm live.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, I lost it, guys.
We got a comment.
I freaking lost it, guys.
Star Fox is trash.
Okay. Star Fox. Oh, I wouldn't go that far. You're about to get like, you're about to get some messages
reading
there.
a comment. Okay, I was reading a comment.
Oh, you're reading a comment. Was it your own comment? Because you just DM'd me that just randomly. I didn't ask you. You just texted me and you said Star Fox is trash.
I did not. He's lying.
In fact, you sent it to me 3 times. The last one had a lot
Gotta-
of exclamation
Got
points
to
on
keep
it.
my name 3-bit. You know, I got to send everything three times.
Okay.
You've really hurt Lupa. She's crying in the chat.
Hey Lupa, you know, we don't want any of these franchises to go, except for Stubbs. He actually does want to kill off Zelda. No, he said Star Fox.
Actually, I got DMs from everybody in this
Yeah.
Assassin Lupa, and everybody has said Zelda. They just knew it was going to make you mad. So there.
So this next topic, if we can make it through it, I put on this episode solely because of one man. I knew it was going to be on the show, and it says no data right now. So I don't know what that means. Well, I don't know why it says no data. It should say excellent connection. Instead, it says no data.
And I'm getting the best picture I've seen all night on YouTube. So
Are you? When it says
Yeah.
no data?
yeah,
What the hell
And
does
you're
that
perfectly
mean?
clear. I don't know,
Okay.
and you're perfectly clear. Nobody's dropping out.
All right,
Oh,
so
man. Keep it up, no data.
the Gears of War Phoenix collection, there is a petition going on around. It's been going on for a while. To get a Master Chief Collection style Gears of War thing going for that franchise on Xbox. How awesome would that be? What should it be? How should it be made? What should they put into it? When should it come out? And
Well, basically, SAS Shadows is a UK Gears of War YouTuber. He's seen that the Halo Master Chief Collection was being revamped for the Series X, and he done a quote tweet, and he put something like, "Why can't we have a Gears of War version for Gears 1, 2, 3, the original trilogy?" And Guy Welsh, the marketing director at Xbox for Gears of War, put "Get it trending." Now, and although we didn't get it trending, there's over 2,000 people that have signed a petition, and we actually tried to get this concept going. I remember back in 2013 when the Xbox launched. How Xbox got around it and got people to shut up was they made all the Gears of Wars backwards compat on the Xbox One, so it went away. So it's recently surfaced. So the premise is basically Gears 1, Gears 2, Gears 3. And you could stick in Gears Judgment as well and have it remastered. So Gears 1 has already been remastered. So you just need to do Gears 2, Gears 3. And if they want to include Judgment, they can. I also have them all in one package and the multiplayer available and redone. So like the old Horde mode, the old Versus mode, the multiplayer, all in one package, just like Halo Master Chief Collection. But we would like it to not launch the way the Halo Master Chief Collection launched, because it would be a disaster. That is the premise of it, and I would love that, because everyone's saying no, focus on Gear 6, and that might be true, but they could have another studio actually make it. It wouldn't have to be Coalition as such, but I think it would do really well for the franchise, because if Xbox really do say it's one of their staple franchises, this is the only way to prove it. So what I mean? It's whether it will happen, Xbox is fully aware people want this, but getting it trending is very hard, you see. That's why there's been a petition made. So I'm fully for it. I don't know what your guys' thoughts is.
I'm 100% for it. I think it needs to happen. What about you, Tom?
If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I wouldn't care, honestly. I'm not a fan of the. I've never really, I've never gotten into them. I thought the multiplayer was not as fun as Halo, so it was hard for me to ever get away from like Halo 3 or Reach at the time.
Please mute Tom.
The golden era for Gears of War.
So, Gears is Gears.
Tom wasn't born yet when Gears of War 3 came out, probably. That's the real problem. No, hey, you know what? You don't have to not everybody's a fan of every game, and that's completely fine. You know, so yeah, I wouldn't care if they came out with a Pikmin a remaster collection, right? I never played one. So, Pong, what are your thoughts on that and a Marcus Fenix collection?
I love it. Love the idea of it. Definitely, since Gears 1 through 3 are my absolute favorites. I am a OG Gears player. I do not. I mean, I like the current ones. However, I don't. It's not the same thing. I just really love. I'm getting old, so I just love the old stuff. So 1 through 3 was my favorite. As far as time frame goes, I think, as Stubb says, another group could make it, another studio could do it. However, I don't think that's how the coalition works. I think the coalition obviously feels that since they chose to be the coalition and to make Gears, I think it's their baby, and I think they're going to be very protective of that baby. So I believe at the end of the day, time frame wise, I think they finish 6. And then I think they work on the Phoenix collection and come out after 6.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Makes
I think
sense.
that would be a perfect time. Yeah.
3-bit, you got any thoughts?
Put the collection along with Star Fox in the chat. No, I'm just kidding. I think it would be really cool if they did a collection. In fact, if they made like the Master Chief collection sort of like a thing among their other franchises, like among other Xbox IPs, I can't think of any right now, but if they just make it a thing among their brand, that would be really cool. Yeah, I think it would be Gears games were a lot more mature. There were a lot more dude bros, but the story with Dom and Mark really awesome. I thought like the sort of bond they had, the boss fights they had at the end of each Gears. I sort of had to remind myself because I played it recently. The boss fights at the end of each Gears fights were like pretty awesome. Pretty cool.
Preach, 3-bit.
Yeah.
Preach.
Well, I think knowing the coalition has amazing engineers, and if they brought back or if they just remastered it with the Unreal 5, which we know is some developers have it and others are waiting for it to officially launch soon. I believe it's this year, or these next Gears introduce a new audience to it. I feel like that's what the Master Chief collection is to a certain extent. A new player base gets to experience Halo. I think it's the same thing with Gears. You can introduce people who may have not liked Gears, like Tom. They're like, oh, it's trash, and they can experience it now, and maybe like, oh, it's not that bad. So, yeah, bring it on, and hopefully you can get it trending. That'd be cool.
So one thing, sorry to butt in, one thing people probably forget is Gears of War 1 was actually the tech demo to sell the Unreal Engine, and that's why it became very popular. And I'm hoping with Gears 6 being on the Unreal 5 engine that they can make it a masterpiece that people will say, wow, we need our game to run on Unreal 5 because it's a powerful engine. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Just look what they did with Hivebusters, and they're not even on Unreal Engine 5 yet. Can you imagine 1 through 3 just looking as good as Hivebusters? Make me drool.
Would be amazing. But that would take a lot of work, right? So if to put that much work into it, you're talking about a heavy investment, right, from the studio. Now the question is, and I see like Justin, thanks for joining us in the chat. Is that almost a detriment to the coalition not being able to work on something new? You know what I mean? Maybe going back and,
I was
and visiting that. So, it's interesting. Babe, would you like to replay like those Gears games? Because you kind of just recently discovered it.
Only multiplayer.
Yeah. Do you think you all the multiplayer from the games together though?
I didn't hear you. You cut out.
I said, do you think you would like a collection that had all of the multiplayer together?
Sure.
Yeah, why not, right?
And I think to answer Justin a little bit, Justin basically said Coalition are limited by Gears. I think the Coalition, they are not restricted by Microsoft to work on Gears. They constantly state this in their blogs and in their videos. This is a franchise they love and want to work on. They're not being forced to work on it, despite their name being the Coalition, which is referencing the Gears of War franchise. But with that being said, I would love for them to work on a new franchise, which almost depicts my whole other last point. But I would love for them to try something new. Just knowing Gears and all the people that work there, it would be pretty awesome, I think.
So, my personal thoughts, if anybody can hear me, because I know that there's it's trying to catch back up on right now, is that yes, we should get something like this. Now, like how much of an investment, because like Master Chief Collection was like a massive undertaking, and they've still been working on it for ever since it came out, and it's finally achieved what I think the original vision was just this year, right? To have like this massive, amazing collection for all of those Halo games that are running at like the best settings and best quality and all the maps and everything, and with the unified multiplayer experience and everything, right? To do that with Gears would be a massive undertaking. And I think it's possible, but is it worth the time and effort taking away from what they could be working on in the future? That's the question. Now, also, if you do it, I think you have to include Judgment. But it is part of that original release slate. It was made by a different studio.
Perfect time for him to cut out.
It was made by a different studio, but it is like the prequel also, and it has a different flavor to it. It has a different a little bit different with the campaign, a little bit different with the multiplayer. I think it would be interesting just as a part of the collection, even though Marcus Fenix is not in there. So I would like to have that as well. Now, let's just get this shit show over with, guys, because this is
only on Judgment.
Yeah, this has been really. This has been fun trying to battle through this show. It's never happened before with us. So, this is our 7th live show where we've done most of our shows have all been pre-recorded. So this is the first time we've been battling with these issues. Again, thank you everybody who has stuck around and fought with us to the bitter end. We have one more. I don't know how often that is. Right now it's reconnecting again. There it goes. So, yeah, this is fucking great, guys. Okay, the Game Pass game of the week is Injustice 2. And if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you get EA Play, and that means you get to play Injustice 2. And that's the Game Pass game of the week. Go play it. Does anybody have any quick thoughts on Injustice 2 before we lose the stream again? Because we're going to end the show very quickly.
Absolutely, go play it. Injustice 2 is a great game. Campaign is awesome.
Yeah, Injustice 2 is great. Go play it. I like the comics. Go play it.
Hey guys, if my internet works, we're going to have some fun playing Halo Master Chief Collection right after the show. So come and join us. It'll be fun. We're going to have a custom lobby. Everybody on the show here and your friends or watching is more than welcome to join us. My gamer tag, my wife's gamer tag is there on the screen. Custom multiplayer, Master Chief Collection. We're going to have a grand old time. It's going to be fun. Sorry about the quality of this show. It sucks. And I'm not even going to put this thing on the audio platforms because I don't want to have the challenge of trying to edit this motherfucker. And so I don't really even care what I say right now. So, hey, it's been fun. Thank you guys for hanging out. Yeah, that's all I got. So it's tune in next week for.
Are you going to try outros?
Huh?
Are you going to try and do outros?
Oh, you know what? I got to do that. We're going to try. Okay, we gotta try. Tom, because we need everybody to see if we can figure out where they can find Project X Talk. So go ahead, man.
You guys can find us over on Twitter at Project X Talk. You guys can also search for us on YouTube at Project X Talk. We have a really dedicated group of guys over there. We do a podcast every and trying to get our groups together. We'll be glad if you guys, give us a shot.
Yeah, they are an awesome group of guys. All of them have been super nice and it's fun to hang out with on their show. So check out Project X Talk. The link and to their YouTube channel is below in this description, guys. All right. Stubbs, where can everybody find you, sir?
Everyone can find me at Stubbs Gaming on Twitter, Stubbs Game on YouTube. I do a weekly podcast every Wednesday, 5 p.m. EST, 10 p.m. UK time, with Mr. Tushi, I VJ, and Removable Sanity on, and Cerebral Paul. That's always fun, and I do a Stubbs cast every couple of weeks. This Sunday, I've got Ainsley from Season Gaming this Sunday at 5 p.m. EST on my YouTube channel. Please check me out, and thanks for the invite, Mav and Caitlin. It was great of you.
Thanks, Stubbs. Thank you again for staying up or waking up in the middle of the night to be on here with us.
Ultimate every Friday night here with this lovely crew. You can also find me on the Shop podcast with PTK, Centurion, Fuzzy Belvedere, and also Stegarilla. And that is on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can find me there as well. And obviously on Twitter at PongSoul, same name, Xbox, same name.
Awesome, man. And again, thank you for just agreeing to join us every week. And also, guys, Stubbs and Tom, and his information is below in the description. 3-Bit, where can everybody find you?
Everybody could find me on Twitter. It's the VGHD, the Video Games HD. And I podcast here Friday, and I also podcast every Thursday on Boomstick Show. And besides that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Go follow me.
Yes, follow him, just like I do. There's great content there. And also, his YouTube channel is in the description below. All right, baby girl, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at CaitlinX0615 and here Fridays with you and making fucking cookies.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the fucking cookies, those are great. Yeah, they're on her Twitter. You gotta go see her fucking cookies. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna be playing Halo again. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. As always, you can find their descriptions below and all that. And yeah, I think I've gone crazy now because this has been really fun. So you can see the information for the gamer tags as well. And I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, guys. It's been real. Thank you for tuning in. You have a good one. We'll see you next week.